Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mindy and
Amy.
You get both of us this week. Woo! So fun. So we'll see how this goes. Kind of a new thing. We're trying it out, and and we just disappeared. We don't know what's happening. So anyhow, today is the end of June, and all month long, Bagot has been sort of acknowledging how June started with National Cancer Survivors Day, and acknowledging that throughout the month. We've had a couple blog posts about long-term cancer survivors. We are using the word survivor as someone from the day of diagnosis. Not everyone feels that way or sees it that way. That is just kind of how we currently refer to it in Bagot. And so as we end the month, and we kind of end some of our honoring and celebration of cancer survivors, I thought it was a good time to bring in some of the conversations Amy and I have had about ending cancer treatment and what life is like when you end that cancer treatment. Because obviously for a cancer survivor, a caregiver, a friend, it means a couple different things. I know for some people they like to ring the bell and they're like, yay, my treatment's done. We might think cancer is over. Those people that maybe have chronic cancer, no, that's not the case. It's something you have to monitor throughout life. Those, even if you finish treatment, still have to monitor throughout life, right? You have to look at your
6-month follow-up, your 1-year follow-up, every time you go to the doctor, they say, well, because you've had cancer, we have to check this kind of thing. It goes on forever.
Yeah, and so they look at things a little bit differently than I myself, who has not been through cancer treatment, might look at things. But one of the things that I think is really interesting is that that Amy and I have talked about is, and I think in life a lot of times it's like this. I recently said this to someone who lost their mother. Like, you get a lot of attention right in the beginning of something or during something, but then when it ends and it's 2 months later, it sometimes feels like people have forgotten about you, right? Yeah. And we know that's not true, but when you're feeling it, you had all this attention and support and activity, and now it's kind of finished. And so we thought we would kind of talk about, some of your experiences and what maybe I could do as a friend, or if I were a caregiver, or what you did yourself as a finished cancer treatment individual.
Yeah, so for me, well, you don't know, but now you'll know. I had a mastectomy, and then I had the exchange surgery and all sorts of things going on. And during that time, I was really good. I blogged about it. I put it on Facebook. I mean, mostly because I wanted people aware. I wasn't real private about things. Mine was caught early. I wanted everybody to have that opportunity. So I was putting all that information out. And when you're putting that information out, people remember, and they're talking to you, they're checking on you. But I had, my core group of friends that are obviously always there for me. But it hit summer. The kids were out of school. Everybody's busy. And I was done with surgery. I was past the point where anybody needed to bring dinners or really check on me. And you look good. So I looked healthy, and I know some who go through chemo and that have a little bit more of a residual physical appearance that kind of sticks with you. But when people don't see you all the time, they don't even think about that. It's like you're done. And so you're done in their mind. And it's, again, like Mindy was saying, it's not that they don't care. It's just, it kind of slips their mind, and it's like, you're good. Okay, yay, we don't have to worry about you anymore. We'll still keep you in our thoughts, but we don't have to be constantly checking on you. But you yourself suddenly feel so abandoned. So one of the things I did for myself, because I hit that point where all I needed was someone to just call and say how I was, or text, or say, hey, let's go to a movie together, just to, again, make me feel like people realized it wasn't just done for me, just like this month is finished. It doesn't finish for survivors. It goes on. Something to acknowledge. So the first thing I did was I put it out on Facebook and basically said to all my friends, and I didn't make it about me, I just made it about anybody who has any type of long-term illness. Don't forget them. Right. They're sitting at home and thinking about their illness all the time. And you're not, and that's fine, and you have your life, and that's busy, but don't forget to just throw out a lifeline now and then to them, and the nice thing is you can put a little thing in your calendar that says, hey, check in on so-and-so every 3 to 6 months, and just, right. Send them a little card or send them a text saying, just so you know, I'm thinking of you, or whatever. Just that little note. So it doesn't just fall on Survivor Day or Survivor Month, or even their month of their particular type of cancer, or again, any type of chronic illness that they might have that kind of puts them back in your mind. Just something that cues you in. But as the survivor, ask. I make my friends do a yearly celebration, and we get together all the time for breakfast and whatnot, but once a year I'm like, it's about me today, and they're totally cool with that,
Right.
because I need to feel like that's important, and so I ask for it. So, and I know caregivers go through a lot of that too,
Right. And that's much harder for some people. Some people, to put yourself out there and ask for it, and so I think
It is hard.
the reminder is, I think, great tips, right? Send them a letter. We all love to get mail, even though, we were just talking about it today, like we're inundated with email, so we get nothing in our mailbox. So that's kind of exciting. I mean, I just had a new house, or I just, had a birthday, and I'm like, oh, look at all these birthday cards. It's so much fun to get snail mail and have people remember you that way. And so think of something like that, or as you said, a few months later, put a note in your calendar, invite them to dinner. Just look for different ways to think about it. And again, yes, we're talking specifically about cancer survivors, and we're recognizing it as the days are there to remind us of things, right? We look at Veterans Day, we look at Memorial Day, we look at, those things are all there to remind us and bring it to the forefront one day a year, but we can still do a little bit more throughout the year. And so just take an extra step and reach out to somebody and, celebrate a survivor that today by just giving them a call. Or again, as Amy said, a text, or just say, hey, let's grab lunch. Or, in Tucson, it's 100 degrees. Or in many parts of the country, these last months have been kind of crazy, Go out for a slushie, or for, an ice cream before it melts, so get it kid size. But just go and enjoy one another, and make the most of that we are able to be here, and celebrate the survivor in your life today.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for sharing, Amy.
Sure.
All right. You guys have a great day. We'll see you next week. One of us, both of us,
whatever.
somebody, we don't know. All right. Bye.
Bye.